Good evening, everyone. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have roll call, please?
Supervisor Glass.
Here.
Councilwoman Campbell.
Present.
Councilman Tempori.
Here.
Councilman Ruthven.
Here.
Councilman Boyd.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Our first item on the agenda is with East of Hudson. I invite Kevin Fitzpatrick from East of Hudson to come up and discuss this project.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Supervisor. I'm Kevin Fitzpatrick, the Director of Engineering at East of Hudson Watershed Corporation. For a quick history lesson on who we are, we serve as a representative for 19 municipalities, including Town of Kent, to address phosphorus loading and stormwater treatment projects that have to be executed within New York City's drinking water supply here in the watershed. So over the past 15 years or so, we've executed many projects within the borders of the Town of Kent, over 150 projects within Putnam County, Dutchess County, and Westchester County. And today we're here to discuss a project that we're looking to install on off of Longfellow Road onto private property. The parcel, as I said, is privately owned. This project itself will address about 78 kilograms of phosphorus reduction. That is an extremely large number, an extremely large project that we can tackle here within the municipality. And we think in addressing the phosphorus loading that comes down off of Longfellow Road onto this private property, all of that stormwater then eventually leads its way down to Stump Brook and eventually even further into Lake Carmel. So a project that we've chosen here can have a large impact onto Lake Carmel, and I know some of the efforts that the town has already looked at trying to reduce sediment loading and phosphorus loading to address the treatment of Lake Carmel itself. This project, in my opinion, is a home run and lines up right with a lot of the town's goals that you already have. So the project involves procuring an easement, long-term permanent easement over the private property to address the elimination of about 12 different heavily eroded channels, which are making their way from Longfellow Road right down the hillside to Stump Brook. By eliminating those channels, we'll be replacing them with a pipe system which would run parallel with Longfellow Road on this private property again. That would then direct all the stormwater around the site before discharging it at the bottom of the hillside, down into the pond. We currently have New York City DEP approval for the project. We have New York State DEC approval for the project. The last piece of the puzzle here is addressing the town board and making sure that we can move ahead with the project. It is fully funded by New York City DEP and East of Hudson Watershed Corporation. I expect it to be in the range of $2 million project. It will also involve the installation of 5 individual chambers within Longfellow Road in order to treat the stormwater that's coming off of the residential area before discharging into our pipe system and redirecting it around. So that, I'll pause for a moment if anybody has any questions or comments that we can address.
The eroded channels that are there existing right now, how many did you say there were?
I believe it's about 12.
12?
Yeah.
Will they get filled in will they get leveled back out so water doesn't continue just like rainwater and stuff down?
Yes, so as part of the project, we'll have essentially towards the middle of the property, it'll be kind of like a borrow site. So we'll pull dirt from the existing site, fill in all those channels to make sure that they don't continue in the future. Because when it comes down to it, our project isn't necessarily the piped system that's going around. We're getting credit and phosphorus reduction credit by removing that sediment. So the goal of the project is to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Okay. And just so everybody's perfectly clear, this is from Longfellow going down the hill toward Kent Country Nursery down there, or the highway garage. It's that side of that hill facing Route 80, Interstate 84, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
Any public comment?
No, he's just paused
Oh,
for us.
okay, well-
You can keep going if you got more to talk about.
Well, no, if
Or
there's,
do-
right.
I'll answer any other further questions that may come up, of course.
Oh, well, let's ask public,
Yeah.
if there's public comment as well.
I
Yes.
just want to know, so is it going to be something that the town can't has to clean out?
Great question. So the agreement that we've come to with the private property owner is that anything within the boundaries of the property, the owner is responsible for maintaining. In the end, the town has the obligation of making sure it gets done, but the property owner will have to maintain anything within the boundaries of their property.
But the town will have to maintain the new chambers up on Long.
The town will have to maintain the
And
chambers.
then the pipes that will be installed going through the residential houses up there will be town easement pipes. Richie, you worked on that, correct? I'm talking to the landowners for how we're crossing, because I believe there was old pipes there, but there was no easement in place.
They were all rotted and rusted.
Yeah,
We replaced them with plastic, and they, even though it's private property, there's something called easement by prescription, I believe, Nancy, right? Where
Yes.
water's draining in a certain spot.
Right.
We have a right to continue that.
Yeah.
Can you
The only
hear?
question I
Rich,
have-
Rich.
Richie, can you come up and just, maybe just sit next to Lana and.
Come here.
sit
I
right-
can't hear you out in TV land.
Oh, yeah, it's easement by prescription, so even though it's private property, if there's been more than 10, am I correct with that? More than
Yes.
10 years of drainage, then we have a right, because it's an established drainage area. So we did put the basins in, and we put new plastic pipe in. It was, the old stuff was, there was, at one time, it was a drainage there, probably 67 years ago, but they rotted out. It's just the cleaning of the basins that we have to get a vac truck or whatever. I guess we can hire a cook now to do it.
Absolutely. If, for instance, if the town has the resources to do it, great. If the town has to hire an outside party to come in and try to do everything in one shot, absolutely.
Are they
absolutely something
as
to be
big
done.
as the one at the firehouse? The old firehouse?
At the old firehouse.
That basin is huge.
Well, I think,
That one
I'm
at the
sorry, I
beach-
don't quite
that
know
one
where
at the
the old
beach
firehouse
is not an
is.
East of Hudson project. He wouldn't know about that one.
Yeah, Bruce Barber assigned that to the highway.
I know, but it didn't,
Oh, wasn't it
it
East of
didn't go
Hudson?
through East of Hudson, correct?
I'm not sure where the old firehouse is, I'm sorry.
Arts on the Lake.
Arch on the Lake.
There's a chamber, there's
Oh, so that
underground
is-
chambers down there.
Yes.
It's a different project.
Not East of Hudson.
Arts-
It was not East
the-
of
The
Hudson.
one you're referring to is an East of Hudson project.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
We refer to it as, I believe, Barrett Hill, right? 'Cause that's-
Barrett Hill, correct.
That was done by Tulip Agency there, and it was done by, because it's a Vortec.
Yes.
Type of thing, but when I was supervisor, we didn't do that, with you guys, we did it through, I was a council person on town board.
So it is one of the year one projects. So it is credit that's been given to the corporation. It was something that the town did execute
Because
without
it
us.
predated- right,
It predated
right,
the East
predated,
Hudson, yes.
Is it that big, I guess, is it?
No, that down there is
Okay.
a very large one.
Because I didn't know we could call a cook
Sure.
to clean it out, because when I first was there, I had Louis Strickland was down there with a bucket on it, 5-gallon bucket on a rope. And with the fumes and everything coming down, so as long as we
I know
can
it's East of Hudson.
call a subcontractor to clean it, it's fine with me. It makes
And
perfect
also,
sense.
for the record, we get reimbursed from East of Hudson.
So,
When?
okay, so for the maintenance program, the way that it works is that everybody, there's 19 municipalities that are represented. Everybody spends money, resources, whatever the case is, to maintain and operate the retrofits within their town. All that comes into a pot, and all the costs are shared amongst all the municipalities. If there is a town that happens to have a larger bill, in town of Kent, you usually have a larger bill because you have a lot of projects currently. What will happen is you have a certain amount, a certain threshold where you would have to spend as part of the program. Anything that you do above that, you will be reimbursed for. So everybody, all the municipalities we represent gets credit for the phosphorus reduction. All the municipalities we represent are responsible for cleaning. So one way or another, it's either somebody, for instance, I'll take a town down in Westchester. Newcastle does not have a lot of retrofits within their town, so they happen to pay money into the system. And that money can be used to reimburse a town that has a higher bill. Putnam County tends to have a higher bill, for instance. Town of Kent has a higher bill. So it's not a zero for zero exchange, but it is, you do get money back as part of the program.
May I ask just a quick question about something else? In Lake Carmel, the north side of the causeway, and actually the north side of where the new bridge went in, can those coves be dredged? I was told by some old timers they used to dredge them years ago, but they're really, really building up, and I think it would help with flooding control. Can that be a future project to dredge them out?
I wouldn't be able to do it as part of the program, because once the water reaches the lake, it's no longer a stormwater project. There is value to doing that, I agree, but unfortunately, it's not something that we would be able to help you with.
Okay.
I've asked around about it for you. Yeah. I think it'd be a great time if they ever worked on the dam and had to either remove it or make a call for dam and drain the lake down. That'd be the time.
I think
to do
that would help
dredging.
with flooding and everything, but they really should be dredged.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other public comment, questions?
Yeah, what's the length of time do you think this project will take to do?
It is sizable. My only comparison that I have is one that we executed in Southeast that was essentially the same idea. That took approximately 12 months to completion.
Because this does border residential area the whole way through.
Yes.
Right? You're literally right in people's backyards.
Yes.
With heavy equipment.
Which they've all been notified,
Okay.
right? Everyone's been notified, so.
Well, yes, yeah, as part of the process, we'll make sure that everybody's
Is aware of what's
is
going on
aware
before it
before
happens.
anything happens. Hypothetically, let's say, I'm given the authority to move forward, and you guys just agree to pass a resolution, then my guess is that June, July is when we might be talking about when I'm awarding a construction contract. So we'll line it up, make sure the public is aware, and then those notices go out. There is plenty of work directly behind those folks that have the Longfellow Road addresses, and there'll be a lot of work further downhill. So we'll try to make sure that maybe we try to get as much done in one shot, and then worry about everything else pulled back away, so we can move it smoothly.
Yeah. But for those people in Ludington Court, which is like the entrance into the town hall, or to
Yeah.
the town garage area, those people should be happy. Because if any of that water that comes down, must shed over their property now, should be easily picked up
Yes.
and carted somewhere else rather than over their lawn, so.
Yes.
Yeah. So they'll have to deal with the noise for a little while, but they'll benefit from that.
Right.
Good? Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to pass a resolution authorizing an agreement with East of Hudson Watershed Corporation, whereas the town of Kent is a member of East of Hudson Watershed Corporation, known as the EOH, an association of municipalities located in New York City watershed east of the Hudson River, and whereas EOH assists its members in complying with the municipal separate storm sewer system permit effective May 1st, 2010, the MS4 permit, by the design and installation of stormwater retrofit projects approved by New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, known as the New York State DEC, or NYSDEC. Whereas the owner of premises identified as Town of Kent tax map numbers 22-2-16 and 22.42-1-20 and 22.58-2-58 intends to permit the East of Hudson to enter into the owner's land to commence construction of a stormwater retrofit project known as Kent-MB-1000, known as the project, at the sole cost and expense of the East EOH. And whereas the town desires to enter into an agreement with EOH in the form annexed hereto and hereby incorporated by reference, permitting EOH to undertake the project on behalf of the town with the understanding that the following installation the town is obligated to, and East EOH may maintain, repair, alter, add to, or reconstruct the project. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute any and all documents, including the agreement for installation of stormwater retrofit project in a form satisfactory to the town attorney, and to take any and all other necessary or appropriate actions to give effect to this resolution. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby approves and ratifies all acts heretofore taken by the town board, town supervisor, and any and all other town officials in connection with this agreement.
Yeah,
You make that motion.
I make that motion.
was that it? Oh, it looks like it almost like,
It looks like it's supposed to keep going. All right, I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
you don't want to like annex to agreement?
I promise you, that's how it is.
Okay.
All right. Our next item is for Verizon. We need to set a public hearing tonight for a franchise agreement. I'm going to let Nancy explain what's different this time with the franchise agreement.
Yep. So our last franchise agreement has expired. It was for a term of 15 years, and we've been operating up the same terms since the expiration a few years ago. But Verizon has requested to renew the agreement. Instead of a 15-year term, they want to go down to a 5-year term with the option to cancel on written notice to the town on 180 days. This is because of all of the new emerging technologies and streaming services. They really don't know what the future holds for cable. And
They think cable will not exist in a few years.
possibly, it's possibly. Another new thing in here is that we now are limited in how frequently we can audit the fees that they're paying to the town. It's only going to be once every 3 years, so the town gets paid a fee of 5% of the gross revenue minus a bunch of deductions that haven't changed much since the last time, just to reflect some new laws and court decisions that have come up since then. So it's still 5% of the revenue is to be paid to the town. We're required to have a public hearing before we enter into the agreement, so that's what we're doing here
So
tonight.
we're just going to set the public hearing tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 5% minus their fees? That looks like a cable
Minus,
bill to me.
minus fees that they have to pay out. Also in the past, and I don't know if it was happening with the town, but a lot of these franchises were charging the municipalities, deducting from our fee a valuation that they put on giving the free cable channel for the town. So they would deduct that from the gross revenue before paying out to the municipalities. But in 2019, there was a court decision that said you can't do that anymore.
So at the public hearing, could you then bring up things that maybe they could change, or we just have to accept it the way it is?
Well, we can still negotiate this agreement, but, there's not much. We kind of had a pre-meeting with them before, and the renewal period is not up for negotiation. Yeah, come on.
Come up, Kathy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't have Verizon cable, I have Comcast.
We get Comcast.
It's
too.
not exclusive franchise.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Usually they're up at the same time, I'm surprised.
I haven't heard from Comcast yet.
yeah.
So there's different cable
There's two.
throughout the whole town? You
Yes.
have a choice. I could choose Verizon at my house instead of having
Well,
Comcast.
some
you have to
people
s-
can't have Verizon. I
Yeah.
don't.
Because I'm on Sedgwick and my shop is on Chauncey. Lincoln's in the middle, my son is on Lincoln. They don't service that. I think that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I asked one of the guys and he goes, oh yeah, that happened. And I'm like, so
That's weird.
if, it depends if the files is out there, Chris. It might not be out there. But twice now, well, first of all, because of 15 years, apparently our boxes were all old and antiquated, so they just gave us everything new. But twice now, the main box by a restaurant down by our road that I didn't know had connected.
Sorry, Kathy, when you say box, what are you referring to? That you're
It's the
able-
main box it's down by the restaurant.
Oh, like the communication box
The
by the
communication
roadside?
box, yeah, like a
Okay.
telephone, well, the first time we were out for like 3 days, and, Bob does his proposals on his, computer. And so we called them, they came in, and it took a really long time. They found out it was unplugged at this junction box or whatever. Okay. So then, a month and a half later, same thing happens, and I said to the guy, the last time it was down there, he goes, I'll be right back. And he went down there, and he said a number of ones were out. They're unplugged. I go, who gets into these things? How is this happening? He says, we don't even use those boxes anymore. So maybe they gotta look at, I mean, I know you're saying it's, maybe 5 years because they don't know what's going on, but maybe, I'm just bringing up, is that I'll say it at the public hearing, but I think those boxes should be addressed if there's, I'm sure we don't have the only old one around here if it's been 15 years. So maybe they have to look into updating that.
Who is going into the box? That's like,
Well, that's what I said, but apparently maybe it just falls out because
Oh,
it's
okay.
old and the plugs are just,
okay, I'm
You
thinking
know,
someone's going in there
that's what I thought the first time, but it sounds like it's old,
It
it's
just happens.
antiquated and.
Okay. All right, well, tonight we're just setting the public hearing, so we'll still have time to discuss it and, See what we can do.
To know so
Mhm.
that if
Yeah.
that's something that they should do.
all right.
When's the public hearing, Lana? 2 weeks?
Do you want to have it at the next meeting, the 15th?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll do it.
you have it? You good?
It's not zoning, so it's not like.
No.
we need 10 days.
No.
Make a motion to adopt a resolution providing for public notice and hearing for the town of Kent entering into agreement with Verizon. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent will hold a public hearing on a franchise agreement with Verizon, the agreement, and be it further resolved that copies of the agreement will be available for review in the town clerk's office, and be it further resolved that the town board will hold a public hearing on said agreement at the town hall in the town of Kent, New York at 7:00 PM on April 15th, 2025, and be it further resolved that the town clerk publish or cause to be published the attached public notice in the official newspaper of the town of Kent of said public hearing at least 5 days prior thereto. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our next item is with the police department for an intermunicipal agreement. I invite our police chief up to explain this. Do you guys have this?
Good evening, everybody. This is really just to update our agreement with the town of Carmel. The state's recommended different language since we signed the last one many years ago, and we're hoping that nobody has any problems with us having a intermunicipal agreement with Carmel so that if we need help, they'll help us, and if they need help, and we don't have to go through the normal procedures of calling the supervisor in the middle of the night to
I mean, I'm up, so
get
it
that
really
done.
doesn't matter, so,
So,
yeah.
and it's really just updating the wording to what DCJS recommends. Okay?
Thank you.
All right,
I think-
thanks.
We should go ahead with this. Any public comment?
I make a motion to pass a resolution to approve intermunicipal agreement with the town of Carmel. Whereas pursuant to New York General Municipal Law, Article 5-G, local governments are authorized to enter into municipal cooperation agreements for the performance among themselves or one of the other of their respective functions. And whereas the town of Kent Police Department provides police services to the residents of the town of Kent, and whereas the town of Carmel Police Department provides police services to the residents of the town of Carmel, whereas the town of Kent and the town of Carmel wish to establish and maintain a joint special weapons and tactics team between the town of Kent and the town of Carmel Police Departments, which shall be referred to as the Putnam County Police Emergency Response Team, ERT. And whereas the town board and the town of Carmel, or the town board and the town of Carmel wish to enter into an intermunicipal agreement known as the agreement, whereby the Kent Police Department and Carmel Police Department act jointly as the ERT available to both municipalities in the event of an emergency consistent with the terms of the agreement. And whereas the town board of the town of Kent wishes to approve the agreement and authorize the town supervisor to execute the agreement, now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Kent hereby approves the intermunicipal agreement with the town of Carmel, and be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute any and all agreements and other documents necessary to give effect to this resolution, consistent with the terms hereof, all in form satisfactory to the supervisor and the town attorney. I make this motion.
Second.
Just for clarification too, Carmel has already passed theirs.
I
so-
saw it was signed by
Yes.
them.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And now our next item is highway, so Richie can go home after this. Richie has 2 items tonight. You want to come up and discuss both of them?
Yeah, I have a vacancy for an MEO, so we've edited out the Alexander Elejai is the way you pronounce the last name, Elijah, and the background check was done. He's got a CDL. He's qualified and came with some recommendations, so I'd like permission to hire him. And what's my second item?
You are promoting Pat Esposito.
Oh, Pat Esposito to general foreman / crew chief level 2. Pat deserves it, good guy, he can fix anything. And I'm glad to have him. So I'd just like to have a resolution supporting that.
Okay. All right, any
No problem.
comments on either one?
We don't have a resolution for that. Can we add it in there?
Yeah, the
I have
Esposito guy
it.
looks, oh, I don't have it on my
one.
side.
I'll read it.
I
Do
don't have it.
you want to do that one first? I'll do that one since I have it. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, well, let me, do you have that? Let me read Pat's.
You want Pat's?
May
There you
I?
go.
Yes.
We'll do this one first.
Go ahead.
Which one?
Let's see, Ann, you want to read one?
Sure. You want to start with the hiring then?
Yeah.
I make a motion to adopt a resolution to hire a mechanical equipment operator for the town highway department. Whereas the highway superintendent, Richard Othmer, wishes to hire a mechanical equipment operator, MEO, in the highway department and has recommended the hiring of Alexander Elijah. Did I get that right?
I just say lazy eye. so I call him.
Elijah, as MEO, and whereas the town board wishes to accept the recommendation of the superintendent of highways and hire Alexander Elijah, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the hiring of Alexander Elijah as mechanical equipment operator in the highway department effective April 2nd, 2025, at the rate of $32.30 per hour, subject to successful completion of all required background checks. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion for a resolution to hire a crew chief 2. Let's see, whereas the highway superintendent, Rich Othmer, wishes to promote Pat Esposito to the position of crew chief 2. And whereas the town board wishes to accept the recommendation of the superintendent of highways to promote Pat Esposito, also known as Skeeter. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the hiring of Pat Esposito as crew chief 2 in the highway department, effective April 1st, 2025, at the contractual rate of pay, subject to successful completion of all required background checks, and be it further resolved as crew chief 2 in the absence of the town supervisor, Mr. Esposito is authorized to sign vouchers and timesheets, call out employees as needed, delegate job assignments, and handle other operations of the highway department. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make this motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You can go home now. I-
You missed Jeopardy. Yeah.
Oh. Can you pass that down to Lana? Sure. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item is from EMS to install county radios. So we need to, the county did a radio upgrade project, and it is mandatory that we must get these radios updated in the ambulance. So we have a quote for $4,343.70. It is a sole source, so this is the only one we need, and we need to get this done so that we can communicate with other jurisdictions. And because as of right now, when we are on a call, the EMS workers have to use their cell phones in order to communicate with other ambulances, and we can't have that. That's not safe for anyone, so we need to update this. And this was a county project.
Quick question.
Yes.
I know the town was awarded $2,575 from the Sloper Community Fund. Is that helping to pay for this radio?
Part
or
of
is
it
that
will go to
separate?
this, but then part of it's also going for a radio in the fly car.
Got it, thank you.
Make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing the installation of radios for the town of Kent EMS. Whereas the town board of the town of Kent is in receipt of an email dated March 25th, 2025 from David Rains, EMS coordinator, for installation of a radio system in connection with the mandatory Putnam County radio upgrade project, the radio system, a copy of which request is annexed here too and incorporated herein by reference. And whereas Mr. Rains recommends that the town accept the proposal of Electronic System Solutions, Inc., ESS, to install the radio system. And whereas the town board of the town of Kent accepts the recommendation of Mr. Raines and the proposal of ESS to install the radio system for the town of Kent EMS, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes and approves the installation of the radio system from ESS at the overall price of $4,343.70. To be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Kent hereby authorizes and directs the supervisor to execute any and all documents necessary to give effect to this resolution. I make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to add an item to the agenda for the planning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So I received an email from Vera Patterson this morning asking to add this to the agenda for approve and accept a check for $2,500 from, hold on, let me see, a bond agreement. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to read this. Simon, do you know what this is? It's proceed at your own risk tree removal?
Oh, yeah, that's probably Mooney, is it?
Over here.
It's on Ludingtonville, I think.
Yes, it is. Well, your board voted unanimously to accept it.
Oh, is it Rescue? Because we had two of them.
No. What did you say, Rescue? No,
The
oh,
one
no.
with the tree issue, I thought was
There's two of them with
Ludingtonville.
the tree.
Ludingtonville, 592 Ludingtonville.
What we were saying is that they are allowed to, because our tree, you can't cut down the trees from April 1st on.
Right.
That we were given permission to cut it at ground level. They're not going to disturb the ground, they're going to fell the trees. And that's why we're doing the bond. But we told them they're doing it at their own risk because the project actually hasn't been approved, and that, but they want to do that, that's at their own risk.
Yeah, okay, you're not saying that they can proceed with their project. This is
No,
all
we're
they
not
can
saying
do.
that at
Okay.
all.
So it's an erosion control bond for $2,500, so. And the planning board voted unanimously, so they're just asking for us to accept it.
Bruce Barber wrote to us today and said that he thought that it should be, the wording in the resolution from the planning board needs to be tweaked to make it crystal clear that the town is in no way encouraging them to cut trees after April 1st, and we're not giving them permission to cut trees after April 1st, because that's a Fish and Wildlife Agency law that we have no control over. We don't want to be seen as being in the position of encouraging them to cut trees when they can't.
So what's the purpose of cutting the trees? Just to clarify.
What they wanted to do was they needed to get access into the site. So in order to get access into the site, they wanted to cut the trees, but just a minimal amount of, and obviously they're not removing the stumps or anything like that. They were just cutting them and felling them and leaving them on site. But everything had to be done before April 1st. We told them after April 1st he can't do that. So anything that they've done up till yesterday, it's okay, but nothing since. And it's on their detriment if the project doesn't go ahead. It's on their detriment, not us. We're just giving they asked us permission to cut the trees, couple of trees down beforehand, and we give that.
So we're accepting this through March 31st. So there's no more cutting trees down right now.
There's no more cutting trees down, but we wanted the bond just so we have.
Okay.
Okay, so we just have to accept the erosion, the $2,500 erosion.
So they're not cutting trees after April?
They're done.
No,
No.
they're done.
All right.
Today is, that's it. They're
And it's
done.
arbitrary date of April 1st was because of,
No, we were always told that April 1st to November, we are not allowed to remove
That's
any
the
trees.
US Fish and Wildlife.
Because
Yeah.
Fish and Wildlife,
Bats.
because the
Just
long-eared
bats,
bats and.
yeah, no, I'm not picking on you, I just want the
No, no,
general
no.
public to understand why
No,
there's
but
this
that's
arbitrary
the
date.
standard that is always.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
My
So-
questions aren't meant to trick, they're just meant to educate.
So this work's already been done.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, I know, I saw it, but based on what Bruce Barber had raised, do we need to modify our resolution when we accept this bond, or?
No, we're just passing on the bond, not
Okay.
on any permissions or anything. That's all planning board.
Okay, so that was just a recommendation back to the planning board, nothing that we have to do. I just wanted to be sure. Thank you.
Is it an erosion control bond?
I can
Or
pass-
is it your own risk tree removal bond? They say RE, and then down here it says erosion, so which one am I doing? So I know for the record.
All we're doing is accepting the $2,500 in the erosion control bond.
Could I make a
That's-
suggestion, Madam Supervisor? Is it urgent that we accept this bond tonight? Can we get some more information and be doubly certain that we, you
I
know?
don't see a reason why there's a rush on it because April 1st is today, so they're
Yeah.
not allowed to put any more trees.
Right.
So if you you want to hold it off till next week,
Okay.
you can do so.
Yeah, particularly because it's not
We
pulling
get a
stones.
resolution actually
It's an
written.
unusual request, and
Yeah.
it's just, but
Okay.
I thought there should have been two of them, but maybe,
No, we only received one
I only
today.
got one from Vera
all
today.
right, I'll just confirm.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put it on the next meeting. If there's another one, we'll put that one on there too. Okay? Okay.
Say motion to adjourn?
Yes.
And so's my second.
Okay, I make a motion to add one more item to the agenda for municipal repairs to sell some parts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I have a letter from Matt Kiernan, who is our chief mechanic. We have a bunch of old obsolete inventory parts that, if we went to auction, we would get pennies on the dollar for. But the town of Patterson Highway Department would like to purchase these because they have the truck that these parts go on. And they're offering us $3,000, which is significantly more than we would get if we went to auction. So I'm asking us tonight just to approve this so that we can get rid of these and make room in our parts office, our parts,
Okay.
and I'll pass this down to you, Lana, after. I make a motion to, let me just look at this, to sell obsolete parts to the town of Patterson Highway Department in the amount of $3,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Want to pass that down?
Sure.
Thank you.
Mike, also.
You're good.
Okay.
Yep.
The following vouchers for April 1st, 2025 are over the threshold. Air Compressor Engineering, $4,316.56 from Municipal Repair Shop Service, $312.25. Alta Industrial Equipment, $6,004.10. Municipal Repairs Town Vehicles, $319.25. Card Member Services, $6,391.32 for the Town of Kent credit card. Carmel Central School District, $3,220 for gym rentals from March 1st to March 29th, 2025. Danbury Auto Spring, $10,064.43 for highway repair for vehicle number 37. Hogan Rossi and Liguori, $5,416.63 for the monthly retainer for legal services. Justice Court Fund, $22,420 for court fines paid from February 2025. Kevin P. Irwin, ESQ, $6,804 for court tickets January 6th to March 27th, 2025. Municipal repairs, $3,349.76 for February 2025 chargebacks to Kent PD, and $4,281.97 for February 2025 chargebacks to sanitation, and $26,348.13 for February 2025 chargebacks to highway. NYSEG, $2,337 for civil crossing police department station from February 20th to March 20th, 2025. Pitney Bowes Reserve Account, $3,000 to the Town Hall postage meter. Wind Waste Innovations, $8,180.14 for Lake Carmel garbage from January 13th through the 17th. Wind Waste Innovations, $9,212.07 for Lake Carmel garbage for March 10th through the 14th. And Wind Waste Innovations, $9,342.94 for Lake Carmel garbage for March 17th through the 21st of 2025. I ask the board to approve as read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'll go first. We have lots of events going on through recreation. Everyone should check out the website. We also are partnering with the Yankees. We are offering a trip to Yankee Stadium in April. We're not providing the bus or anything, but there's different ranges of tickets, $59, $69, they keep going up. And you get a ticket, you get a $15 meal credit, and a backpack. So check out that. And for Mets fans, the Mets didn't reach out to me, so just the Yankees did, so.
$15 with your bag of chips.
I was thinking you get the water bottle cap off the water bottle.
I don't promise what you get for $15, you just, and then our Easter egg hunt's coming up, you still can register, and lots of other great activities going on. Oh, and also, parents, if you are leaving your child at Ryan's Field, if they're there, please make sure you know what they're doing. We had a lot of vandalism this past weekend at Ryan's Field, all silly things that, really just create more work for the guys, and you know, it really takes away and doesn't let other people then use the park. They cut the tennis net. Some other silly things. We're working with the PDs to do some extra patrols. We're hoping that now that baseball and softball season is upon us, that there'll be more people at the park, so maybe it will deter that kind of behavior, but we are also looking into cameras because
Yeah.
I guess we shouldn't say there aren't any down there. We should say there are, but we're looking at new, better cameras that can, face recognition cameras. So, all right, that's all I have.
April 26th is Kent Cleanup Day. From 9 to 12 at Kent PD, you can pick up basically refuse bags, gloves, pickers, vests. So if you want to organize your community, I know what's that down there? I can't think of it now. Hill and Dale, they usually organize. There's some out in Western Kent that organize. I know Kentwood Lake organizes.
Lake Carmel.
Lake Carmel does a,
Competition.
correct.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants to come on the beautification committee, we have open enrollment. We still only have 2 members. And the other thing, that same day at Tilly Forster Farm on Route 312 in Carmel from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the first annual Putnam County Autism Awareness Walk. There's no charge to go. There are going to be vendors, there's going to be food, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff for autism awareness. So hopefully it will be a busy but a great day.
And then on Sunday, you can go to the Lake Carmel Fire Department for the Touch a Truck event, which is 10 to 4 on Sunday, April 27th. So it's a busy weekend.
Yeah, and they'll have food
Oh,
at the
sorry.
Touch a Truck. That's quite all right. Just add to it. So from Deliland, they'll have hot dogs and hamburgers. They'll have pizza from Rick Oven in Carmel here, and there will be an ice cream truck there as well. So it's an open house. We're looking for volunteers for the fire department. Stop on by, bring the kids. They usually have like coloring books and all sorts of good stuff to the kids. And the trucks that we have there, they'll be able to pull the air horns and have that kind of cool stuff. So swing on by. That's April 27th, Sunday, the day after cleanup day.
Library.
Yeah, and looking ahead to May, I'm not sure of the exact details, but on Memorial Day, I think there's going to be a dedication of the new bridge down near the memorial, I guess in conjunction with that ceremony. Do you know what time that's happening? We didn't really talk about what it's going to look like, but
No, hopefully we'll have more details,
Yeah.
hopefully at the
Yeah.
next meeting.
that will be announced in the near future. For the library, April 8th, 5:30, there's going to be a webinar on Medicare. You need to register through the library to get the link. And the Friends of the Library will be having their book seller sale on April 12th, 10 to 12. And then some Earth Day events, you can do some kind of project where you're putting together clay, soil, and native wildflower seeds, and then putting those out in different places to try to encourage growth of those wildflowers, good for the environment. And there was another Earth Day thing I saw, something with, now I've lost it, with recycled, making art projects out of recycled materials and things like that. And of course, many other events. I encourage you to check the library's website, as always. Thank you.
Okay. Any public comment? Is this my phone? Did you take it from me?
No, I took it out of the
Oh,
conference.
okay.
Susan Kotzer, Town of Kent.
Lost my pen.
Wondering how the playground removal and storage worked out.
So Richie could have told more, but I heard it went very well. I know we got a letter from Brewster, I got like a note from them just saying that they were very happy with how our men took it down and
Okay.
that it was they worked in conjunction with each other and
Okay.
it went flawless, that was great.
So it's in storage?
Yes, it is.
And when can the residents see it be put up?
We will have more updates when it's going to be put up, it's gonna be a little while.
Okay.
But we couldn't pass the deal around, we couldn't pass up that deal to have that playground.
It's going into Eustis, right?
Yes, it is, so we don't know, we don't have a
Yeah.
timeline of exactly.
Well, we did just get the secret approval. We're waiting for the grant contract to be negotiated now. So that's an important step, and I believe a lot of the engineering work has been done, and some things have been submitted to the health department for the septic and so forth. So, that project is moving forward.
Okay, good.
But don't hold your breath.
Thank you. Also, prior meeting, we talked about the bridge, but it's really a culvert on Ninham Road. And there was Richie had provided some pictures of an accident, and I asked if the town was reimbursed from an insurance company for the damage done to the town property. And I believe everybody said yes, you received a check. But I foiled for all accidents from the police department on the culvert bridges, and I didn't see that this one was listed as being reported, so I don't know if in fact the town was reimbursed for the materials or the damage. I'll let you talk about that, discuss it at another time. Anne, you mentioned Memorial Day, the bridge dedication. Is that the walking bridge in Lake Carmel?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so it's the Lake Carmel Bridge, okay. Thank you.
I wasn't sure how to refer to it. I like to think of it as the Buffalo Bridge as opposed to the former Broken Bridge.
It's Lake Carmel Walking Bridge, walking path it was, but now it's a bridge, not a culvert. Okay, so that's it, thank you. Happy April 1st.
April Fool's Day.
Simon, you have anything? You good?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See everyone on the 15th.